But yeah, I mean, like, if you put ideas out there, especially, and here's the thing too, and I hope I'm not yapping too much. Within finance, especially when you're talking about telling people or giving them opinions, it's opinions, not advice. But if you're like telling them like, hey, I really like this stock, you should buy it. Like, you better be open to criticism, because you're literally telling people, I just finished, I was listening to that, the BBY, like YouTube video by, he did the GME one first and then he just did BBY. But there's literally people, like, they were telling, like, people's families, like, they put all their money, they took out credit card loans to buy Bed Bath & Beyond, because they thought, like, even after bankruptcy, it would come back.
That disgusted me.
Yeah. And so, like,
you're trying to sound so professional, and I love it, by the way.
This is
I'll help you out. I know.
Gentlemen, I'd like to introduce someone, if I may. This is the notorious TIG, also known as Sticky Small.
That was on cue.
That was good timing.
That kept me out of it was like on demand.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say, Fabio, about Kemmer?
Yeah, well, just a side commentary that, he, to Ryan's point, he has some people with maybe some mental disabilities, but, I could argue that he himself is among them. So, I mean,
that's fair.
At this point, and I generally kind of go back and forth, like, I kind of feel bad if I, lay any criticism on him, because maybe he's not capable, capable of understanding what he's doing.
They can't process that for some reason. If you're below a certain IQ, that's he's already asked conditional hypotheticals, but through investing, he's like, how would you do it if, for example, banned.
Margin called. Like, but I wasn't margin called.
But I'm just saying, like, ask him like maybe an easier one, because I think it's clear that investing concepts confuse him when because I he couldn't even describe to you what like a call option is or what a hedge is. So ask him something that's like not investing related, but that is a conditional hypothetical, and see if he has the same meltdown. It just means that his intellect is incredibly low.
You don't think any of it's language barrier? Just to be clear.
With the investing stuff, it might be, right? Because his grasp of the language is not great. Like, he thinks that underlying is underline.
Yeah, he's had like a year and a half to learn these words.
Like a line under
One
something. That's how he writes it and pronounces it.
Yeah, he's had plenty of time to catch the vocab. Like, he's been doing it long enough to should have picked up on it all by now.
The best are the replies. Like, and if you look at his comment section, people will be like, "Yeah, I don't know about this." He'll just be like, "Okay." It's like one word reply.
Okay, yeah, he's okay.
Okay,
I've seen those. Yeah, because I try to rule out some things when he talks. The two things I think is either like the way that he processes words or like written words, and I think either language barrier or dyslexia. But like, and I mean, that's kind of like what I think. So it was interesting because in the YouTube, he's the guy who only puts out a couple of YouTube videos a year, and they're pretty high quality. But this was just about an investing call, and he started with GME and then went to BBY. And one of the things he said that's like so true, and it's funny, he just put it very well. He was like, as evidence comes out that the thesis is wrong, you would think the cult gets weaker. It's like, but no, it gets stronger. Yeah. Because what happens is, as the thesis gets weaker, the reasonable people leave because they go, oh, the thesis is broken, I'm out. And the only people that stay are the hardcore, like, it doesn't matter what happens, I'm keeping the thesis. And then it just becomes like this insanely strong cult, which I thought was really, like, I guess it makes complete sense when you say it like that, but it was like, he just put it very well.
Well, and I have to warn you, High Tide has a little bit of a cult following too. You know, there are investors who have been here through like 2 huge euphoric rallies, and they're still holding shares they bought like 5 years ago. Yes, and they still believe in the long-term fundamentals of the company, and they refuse to sell into the tops, and they average down every time the bottoms arrive. And with any of these companies, not just High Tide, with any like Tesla, everything with anything with really strong future potential, right? It will attract a type of ultra high conviction investor that theoretically should be listening to every little detail, including what the bears say. But in reality, they're usually buying their own BS. And they're so locked in, you know, like they got tunnel vision and they're super biased. And this is why I want to hear the FUD. I want to hear the red flags. I want to hear the bear case. Always with every investment, not just with high tide, but with everything.
And to your
They
point,
don't like guys with sunglasses too.